Hi, this is Oscar. I'm talking about the scope of a variable or in a function. Let me give you this example. In one function that we create, a variable is good inside that function, but outside of that function is not anymore that variable good. So that is out of the scope of that function, unless we create a global variable that be available for all the program that we do or certain program that we do it. Let me make it sure here that, for example, if I write now, let me give you an example here. If I create a function here and let me see contours and and let me give a value to a count and let me give a value of 4,000 and let's print this one out, the count out. Okay, let me, and then I'm going to call this function counters. So what the counter does is going to print for me the number 400. Okay, here it is. Just want to make sure that I did it right. And current file. So give me the 400. That is it. Now I'm able to, if I have any other function here, which inside this function, another function inside this function, and I want to use that 400, I'm able to use that one. Let me, for example, I create another function and let me call this function as adding and create it. And what I'm going to use it, I define this function, then I want to use that count. So I want to say that count, the previous variable that I create, equal count plus 200. And then I want print the count again here. But let me give this one to be able to make sure the second inside function. Okay, so I add next one to that function. So what I'm going to see, let me see that what is going to happen here. So here, so what happened here, I have a function here and I have a variable here, and then I want to use this variable another inside, again same function. So I create another function here and I brought this and added to 200 and put it in a new variable count 2. So I'm going to, for the second one to be executed, here is going to be calling this function inside the main function. So it's going to, I'm able to use this variable inside this function, this function is inside the other function. So by point saying that one, I'm able to create one function and inside that function few other function, and I'm using one variable. But if I go out of here, if I create another here, let me show you. I create another function and I say the second, and I just want to print the count. On this function doesn't recognize, let me go here and call this function. Doesn't recognize this variable because this variable is out of the scope of this function. It's only this variable good inside up from to here. After that is not good. Let me, here it is, let me call that one. See, is not defined, line 40 is not defined because the name count is not defined. So unless I create another function here, which I said by the counter, and then I assign it a variable 500, I'm able to use this. And then if I call that, it'll be okay. But otherwise, it's not going to work out. So this is the scope of the function. This variable is good inside this function. Out of this function is not anymore good. Out of where we use it is not anymore good. So that's the scope of it. Let me, in case we need to create a global function, we are able to create global function out of that function. Let me show you how does it. Let's assume here I have the counters, which I take it here, and okay, if I want to use that one, I'm able to use it. Let me show you. This is outside of this one, so it's going to be, let me change the number for 15. And it's going to create. Now I create another function and I say third function, and what I'm going to create on this function, I want to call the global function. So what I can say, I create another function and I say, I give it a name just to see, and I want to say the counters that I created, that's a right now global function, plus let me give 140, okay, and then I want print the X here, and when I called, right now I'm going to call this function to see how does it work. See, in this one, if I just mention it, okay, for to show how does it work, just give a number here, that's good. So what's happened here, it's this is a global, I'm able to use it in this function, I'm able to use it because outside of this function was this variable created. Anywhere I can use it. Next one I will use it too. Now let me go back. See, remember here that I said I was not able to use the count anymore, right? But if I just create this variable and call it as a global, so right now I cannot use the count. Let me give you another example here. That's be fine. I don't have any more here, but if I just want to use this count everywhere, I can use the keyword global, and I have the count as a global, and everywhere that I want I can use it. Let me create another function here, fourth, I'm sorry, I have to use the, and print count. So I'm just going to mention that what is it, this is global variable. Well, see, okay, I have to count the fourth, I have to call it to be able to execute it. So this is a global variable, so means that the global variable here, the value was 4, if I make it, I think 14,000. So everywhere I can use this function as a 14,000 is going to be there. So we are able to use the globe inside the function, and it's available to everywhere on the program that we use it. Okay, hopefully you enjoy that one. So make sure that if you are using, actually you should not use unless you needed a global variable, like for example the pi number or tax number that you have it. So the tax everywhere that you use it is going to be same thing. So if you want to use that as a global variable, you write, or if you pi that is 3.14 something. So we are able to use it that we don't have to create a different function. Let me work out on the next one. So that was the scope of the variable, or the scope of the variable inside the function or inside the program. Have a wonderful day.